What's up, guys? It's Adam from Screen Printing Select. Come on in, show you around. All right, welcome guys. Here's our showroom. We have a little bit of everything to show you what we do. Everything from, we do screen printing, we do embroidery, we do direct to garment, print on demand, and fulfillment, among some other things, but those are sort of what we're known for. As you can see here in our showroom, we have examples of DTG printed garments, we have screen printed garments, we have blank apparel. It's not super organized. We usually try to keep it more organized, but you know, it is what it is. People go through them. And this is our way of showing customers what we can offer, and we have a bunch of different samples here. All right, so as we walk back in here, this is really just our administration area, our customer service, a couple offices, different things like that. So we'll keep coming back through here. As we enter the shop, we have Jade. So as we enter the shop here, you can see that we are packed like sardines in here. No, really. So this is actually our fulfillment area. This is where we ship all of your packages out. We do a ton of drop shipments, anywhere between 500 to 1,000 per day. It depends on the day. It depends on what type of employees we can kind of throw at the amount of orders that need to go out for that day. So we do a lot of drop shipments, and we're looking to continue to expand that with our print-on-demand customers in 2022. Behind you is actually, this is not inventory. This is actually all garments for customers that are pre-sold, just waiting to go through the print-on-demand process. As you come back here, this is actually our brand new DTG oven. It's a brown Firefly. There's the pre-treat machine over there. It just came in this morning, so it's sort of just laying around. We got to find a home for it. As soon as we're ready, put it into production. Behind me over here, we have one of our screen printing presses. This is an M&R Sportsman 810. It's got a hot head on it, which is basically a fancy iron. We can iron the shirts and make them nice and smooth before we put the print down on them. So the print is really, really nice to the touch. That's a flash unit. Basically what that does is it quick dries the shirt. So what I always tell people that don't know what a flash unit does, it's basically like when you're painting a wall, you let it dry and then you paint it again. So it's really nice and bright and opaque. Or it'd be like painting a wall with primer, and then you put your second color on top, but you need that first color to dry before you can just paint the second color on top, or it would just be a muddy mess and would look gross. So that's what a flash unit is. We have a couple on each machine, and that allows you to do more colors in a particular design. Over here, we've got Dylan finishing up here at the end of the day. We've got him finishing up a job. It's like a 3-color job, black, red, and white on a yellow shirt. Just finishing up and getting ready to get out of here. This is an identical machine to this one. It's another Sportsman 810, a couple flashes on it. M&R is our brand of choice. They make amazing equipment right here in the USA, so we really like to support them. And they just make really good commercial, really good longevity, and they hold up really well. You know, as long as you take care of them, they will work for a long time. So we'll come back here. This right here is our washout room. This is actually new. We were doing our washout upstairs. We actually moved everything down onto the first floor level. Instead of the mezzanine, it was just easier for us to get to. So this is all brand new as of like last week. We've got our reclaimed water filtration system down here that we custom built. So the water drains through this. It's got 4 layers of mesh, which is basically your screens to drain all the particles out and all the junk. And from there, it basically recycles and goes throughout the entire process. But it's one thing that we like to do here, you know, is to reclaim that water as much as possible, because we go through a lot of water. In here is our dark room. We've got the fancy Saudi LTS. Man, I am proud of this thing. We got this over a year ago, and it can burn and expose 2 screens at once. I know in some of my other videos, if you haven't seen them, make sure you take a look at them. It is a laser to screen unit. There is no film, there's no ink, there is no wax. It is laser to screen. It is precise registration, and you put the screens in with the emulsion on it, and you find your file here on the computer. It rips it, and it just lasers back and forth, and then it exposes it when it's done. So this is absolutely amazing technology, and we're happy to have it. Behind me here are the screens. So we have 4 different mesh counts that we stock, or really 5. We've got our 80, we got our 110, our 155 to 160 range, 230, and 305. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I said. The lower the mesh count, the lesser detail that you can get. It really depends on the design and how intricate the design is, and our screen room technician determines what mesh count he wants to use for that particular design. You know, a 110 mesh is 110 holes per square inch. versus a 305 mesh is 305 holes per square inch. And obviously, the higher the number and the more holes, the more precise the image can be, the more detailed and specific the image can be. It's just like resolution on your camera. The higher the pixels, the more detailed the image or the photo will be. Back here, this is our automatic screen coder from Saudi as well. This was one of the first pieces of equipment that I bought, sort of automated pieces of equipment that I bought. The reason we got this is because everybody that is a screen printer that has screen printed knows that coating screens isn't that fun. You get emulsion all over the floor, you have inconsistency in your screens, you gotta do both sides depending on how many passes you want the emulsion and how thick you want the emulsion to be. This thing, you tell it what you want it to do, 2 coats and 2 coats, and it does it, and it's the exact same every single time. It takes a lot of unnecessary work out of it. It takes a lot of the variables out of the process because it's consistent. And that's really the key with this machine. I highly recommend this machine. We've been using it for several years now. No problems at all. The thing just keeps running, so it's great. So yeah, so we'll go out here. Back here in the corner, this is where we have our ink mixing. That was actually upstairs last week, since forever. And we brought it down to ground level. We wanted to make it easier, not running up and down the stairs to the mezzanine level. And we just made a nice little corner here for all of our ink mixing. You know, we can mix any color under the sun. As long as it's within our ink mixing system, we can mix it. And you know, we've got a Pantone book just like you would go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick out paint swatches for your wall. It's the same thing with ink colors for your print. Over here, we've got our trusty manual. This is actually the first piece of equipment that I ever bought, and we still keep it around today. You know, a manual is something that every shop should have. You don't necessarily want to use it all the time. There are use cases for it, but you know what? We keep it, we use it every now and then, and it works when you need it. It is a manual machine versus your automatic machine. Totally different. One's by hand, one the machine does, right? So they're totally different, but they have different use cases. Behind you here is the Sprint 3000 from M&R. Like I said, M&R is our brand of choice. This is a gigantic oven, 72-inch wide belt. It's gas. I think it's about 30 feet in length, but it feeds all of our presses at once. So all the presses are printing, throw it on the belt, it comes out the other side, and your shirts are printed and they're cured. Behind you here, going back to the Pantones that we were talking about, the Pantone is basically a number that's associated with the color, and all of these are in order by shade. You got your reds, your yellows, your greens, your blues, your pinks, all that kind of stuff. So these are all the colors that we stock, and we can still make any other color. If a company has a specific Pantone color in their logo, as long as they give us that number, we can mix it. Here's a rapid tag. We actually got this a few months ago. This thing is awesome. It prints 1,200 tags or sleeves or pocket prints per hour. It is essentially an automatic press, just with a smaller footprint. As you can see, it's tiny and it just spins and spins and spins. It's great. It's perfect for private labeling, which we do a lot of clothing brand stuff. So we're tearing out labels, we're putting their company logo and instructions and size and whatever other information they want in their neck label to be theirs. It's custom private labeled. And that's what this machine does. So over here is our fulfillment department. We ship anywhere between 500 to 1,000 orders, individual orders every single day. It depends on the day, but we're shipping a ton. USPS comes, UPS comes, they take all the orders out, and we're drop shipping individual packages to people across the world. All right, in here is our print-on-demand room. In here we have a series of heat presses, the dual air fusions from Stahl's Hottronics. These things are absolutely amazing. It's one heat press with 2 platens. So as you're working on one platen, getting this one ready with the transfer, with the vinyl, you know, whatever you're pressing, this one's pressing and actually applying it to the shirt. When this is done, you press a button or you really press your foot here and the head moves over, does what it needs to do on this shirt as you're working back over here. So it's very, very convenient and very efficient. All right, so behind us is our current DTG machines from Kornit. They're the Kornit Breeze. We've printed thousands of shirts on these machines. So these machines have thousands of prints on them. It's really what grew our print-on-demand department in the first place. So I'm very thankful of these machines here. We have 1 machine, 2 machine, and a parts machine. The reason that we have the parts machine is because in the past we have had some issues just with normal wear and tear. But instead of being down for a few days, we have a parts machine. We can swap out the parts and hopefully get back up and running right away. So it's been very useful for us to have that. And we have another oven over here. This is a drawer oven. So this is very handy for the jobs that have a front and a back print, instead of sending them through the conveyor oven to then have to go get them and bring them back to print on the other side. So for example, if it's a front and a back print, we'll put the front in here for its allotted time. After it's done, we'll print the back, and then we'll put it through the conveyor oven for the final chair. Well, I hope you enjoyed the shop tour. I enjoyed filming this for you. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Screen Printing Select. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. But now you gotta go.